Yeah.
So, and why that's important about the left shoulder and it protracting.
Yeah. And also, it's not like you're trying to do that. No. Like you're trying to push it out.
Just let it go.
Yeah, let it do it from the force.
Completely. So most high handicappers are lacking depth. Okay, so like most guys will get in here and they'll pull their arms in and back too fast. Mm-hmm. And when that occurs, it ruins kind of the structure of the arms, and it's a fake way of getting depth.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of guys do that. They pull everything around them, and then they have nowhere to go, and they come over the top. So I think for most guys, you got to remember that this lead arm is going to load. This is a little advanced.
Okay.
But the lead arm is going to load in transition.
It's protracted and then it loads.
The lead arm is doing this, right? That's how that blasts off. That's part of speed. Yeah. So, especially with Drew, so with Drew a lot. Like his left arm is like this, it's like that. So, if I have this thing losing space, I'm never getting it back. So I want to get in here and have this thing get thrown, right? Like that, so later on, that sequence works. Yeah. And that's why now your tilt is more here, as opposed to pull down and narrow.
Yeah. Yeah, Drew does this drill we were doing into his net where he takes that Mach 3 rope or whatever that's heavy and he goes left this way and then he throws it that way, and that's really cool. Okay, so then we're getting kind of started on a much better way.
Yeah. Right. Do that again. Shift, throw straight down. Awesome. Much better. Do it one more time, throw back to yourself. So you want to not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of independent.
Yeah. Ooh, that was better.
Yeah, it was different.
That actually wanted to load back.
I just really left it alone that time, Because if it gets in here like this, then I've got weight on my... See, that's the thing, I was big in the golfing machine, and I had a lot... I would love to get on this pressure point number 3 or whatever, and I would like to feel that pressure that way.
Like pressure.
So I'd be here, and I tried my darndest to
it doesn't work.
Hold that, and
sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, all that sounds good. That's a problem involved. You can sell anything. But the problem is, like, especially what's cool these days is we have a lot of good information that either confirms or denies what has been taught over the years. It doesn't mean that the stuff in golf machine doesn't work. It's not all of it. And we can't live and die by everything. It's like we have to look at what's actually occurring. And some of the stuff, quite frankly, I still use a lot. But when you start adding like pressure into the hands, it's like, okay, how is that being created? It's being created because of how the sequence is. Oh, by the way, this guy. Without trying to get it. It just kind of happened.
Right. You try to independently get those calluses and pressure points in your hands, and you're twisting it.
Pretty good going back.
Okay.
Like exceptionally good. That was right on your hands, face square to your forward bend. Then in the downswing, I want you to land and rotate before the club starts down.
I can do that.
Check that out.
Yeah, so I'm feeling left, right, left.
Yep. Sorry.
Left arm, like I'm going to throw it to you.
Yes, just like that. Now, if you get this sequence right, then you can start kind of putting some mechanics. Like, if you wanted to make your right arm look a little better, you want to start doing stuff like that. Right. You can't put, so I'm going to fix my right wrist and elbow. This sequence is moving.
I think the first things first, one of the things I saw you do here that I think would be like a great place for a lot of people to start is you just had a club in your hand. You just started rocking both ways.
Right.
When you were doing that rocking, I could see people doing it the wrong. I definitely know for sure that people say, "Oh, look, I'm doing the Dana thing," and I see them doing this. Yeah. So how are you doing it?
Yeah. So we're doing it like this. So we get in here. Okay. So weight goes forward first to get the club moving. The weight hits right before the club moves moving.
Yeah. So whenever I take a lesson from like a really old school guy, they talk forever about the waggle. When we look like way back in the black and white films, what are Hogan, Nelson, some of these guys who had like a real pronounced waggle? What are they doing?
That's a precursor to movement.
Okay. So there's that. Okay, how am I going to start my swing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not trying to take the athlete out of it.
Right. Because you see like a lot of stuff moving. You wouldn't see this kind of thing.
Or that.
Yeah, right. So we're going.
Exactly.
Yeah. And by the time it would be let go here, we got to be going that way. Like, okay. Okay, Dana, let's go to further along in the swing. The Dana Dahlquist idea, super general, of why over the top happens and a good thing functionally we can do to help it.
Yeah, I think number one is get enough rotation to get rid of the over the top and then spike the pressure left. So if I was in here and sequentially I'm going like this, okay, which you're probably going to see most people, okay, you have to attribute that to not having enough rotation in the system, so my hands get further back, for the most part, so whether that be more pelvis or trunk rotation or whatnot, and then from that point, getting the sequence to be landing left earlier so that the lower body goes. See what the club did? It actually wanted to go that way.
Rotate more, go left earlier. Okay, this is my question for you about rotation. Because for about 2 years, I didn't want to hear anything from anybody about rotation because I just thought it was the word that kills my swing and a lot of people who are coming to Be Better Golf School's thing is like, I'm not rotating, because every time that somebody was thinking rotate more, they get off the ball like this way or super deep, super pinched, and then that rotation, and then they're like, okay, that was rotate, now let me rotate. So when you say rotate, I know that you mean it in a different way that it's going to be interpreted by a lot of people. Yeah. So show me like the wrong and right kind of rotation you're talking about.
So the arms, so what you demonstrated was arms in body turn.
Yeah.
Okay, they conflict. So really the club gets thrown more down the line like this as the body's rotating. So everything stays more wide to my system.
Yeah.
Like that, still turning. You never want to take away rotation to the general public.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
is it a horizontal, vertical kind of thing too, where when people think rotate, they do it on kind of
they lose their tilts
and they get on a horizontal plane of rotation.
Yeah, and that's also part of how they're loading their body.
Okay.
So I don't ever tell people to tilt in their swing.
Okay, gotcha.
How they load their system makes them tilt.
Okay, so if I go like if I load my swing around me this way,
that would be bad.
There's gonna be no tilt. And the rotation's gonna be on the wrong plane. But if you get the force lateral moving this way, then look, the tilt happens.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. That's like super important.
Okay. So so then go further into the second part of over the top.
Okay. So and I think
so
the real
loaded correctly.
The whole system's loaded up. Okay. Now I have to make sure that early push back to the left that's happening is. It's going to load, obviously, my arms. Now that lower body goes, everything's staying back. So you can see my rib cage is closed relative to my lower body. So that's not going to send everything this way. It keeps everything back.
So we're going this way, and then we went left so early that gets you upper and lower separation, and then when the club actually starts moving down, then you get more open earlier.
It actually looks pretty good when you did that.
Okay, good. All right, something. I'll hit one just for fun.
Pretty easy, really.
Yeah, right. That's what people saying, like, oh, who should I go to or who should I see? And it's like it's going to make it simpler. It's going to make it easier. That I can like get through. I'm like, because some people will say like, oh, my swing may not be the longest, but it's the easiest to learn. There's not. There's no way to learn golf.
It's easy. You have to.
I think
you need to learn how to move.
Yeah.